Hi, welcome to the award-winning Ed Brown Show. We got something special. We're going to talk about Black history. We're going to talk about the economics of it and also honoring people that are honoring this month here on the Ed Brown Show. That's what we're doing. And we're going to show the young people they got to get into the economy of this country. And you know who we have here, you know, the dynamic Edwana Larkin. She's going to tell you about these youth from Roosevelt High School. Welcome, Edwana, to the Ed Brown Show.
Well, thank you, Mr. Brown. Glad to be here. And February, you know, is Black History Month. It's good to be here. Good to see you again. What I would like to tell you and the audience about, in celebration of the annual Black History Month exhibition, the Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Commission, Prince George's County Department of Parks and Recreation, Arts and Cultural Heritage Division established the Black History Month poster project back in 1989.
Wow.
8 years later, the program evolved to include designating county artists to conduct a 7-week residency at a selected Prince George's County public school. And this year, the public school was Forestville High School. And in honor of the 2013 Black History Month exhibition, artist Curtis Woody collaborated with Forestville High School art teachers Colton and Joshua Smith to craft this year's poster. Together, they introduced the mixed media technique of quilt painting. I never heard of that, but quilt painting. And they introduced it to 14 students in grades 10 through 12. Students then created works of art that portrayed the significant contributions that African Americans made to the U.S. military from the Revolutionary War to the Vietnam War. All the student pieces were then combined in collage form to create what we now have, the 2013 Celebration Black History Month poster. And I think we have a picture of that poster.
Yeah, we have one beginning of the show and at the end of the show.
Yes, so people will see the poster, and a lot of them might want to have it in their homes, and they can contact the Parks and Recreation, Latasha Banks, who is the visual arts specialist for the county, and she can be reached. You want me to give her number?
No, they can just call Park and Planning. Yes,
Park and Planning, and they can get a copy of that.
That's, you know, what's significant about that, the poster and everything in the program is they had this black woman, you know, tooting the horn, you know, or what is it, reveille or something like. And I thought that was a very unique display that they came up with, you know. And the program, they had a young man that was a Korean War veteran that was the guest speaker there. And he talked about the differences. He was involved in the service in between segregation and integration. You know, during the Korean War, I think it was in the 50s. See, and so they just had integrated. So he was just saying the adjustments that he had to make. You know what I mean? Because when he first went into service, it was segregated, and while he was there, they integrated. And he was showing the differences of how things change. He went overseas to Korea and everything, and when he went over, they were just about segregated, and when they came back, they were integrated. But the thing that's very significant about it is that the women in this country have really stepped up, and I don't think that they are given the credit that they deserve. You know, they generally de-emphasize or, you know, the things that they do, but that's very important to have the backup because you know for yourself, having the women backing up the men, that was a moral, morale
Yeah,
builder
and
also
yeah, and I
for,
think
yeah.
yeah now they're recognized. They were nurses.
Yeah. And
In
that's
the
very
war,
important.
whether it was World War One or World War Two. So I think women are getting their recognition, their due respect, and of course. Our president Obama has just sanctioned women,
Right.
to work in combat,
Right.
to be in
Exactly.
combat.
Right.
So.
Yeah. So I think that the youngsters that were involved in there, it was significant because just like you say, it wasn't just one poster. It was collage of
Yeah.
posters that these youngsters at Forestville High School, and then the young man that put them all together into one poster. It was so meaningful, So
Yeah.
hey. Make sure you go to Park and Planning and ask for that poster because it's very significant about
Yeah,
the things that have happened in the past and the young people need to think in terms about. In fact, we're going to have Mr. Murry on the second talking about the economics because what you have to do, you're involved in service, you got to get into the economics of this country. And Mr. Murry in the second half is going to have something to say about that. But I like for a closing.
It celebrates the poster, and I've seen it. It really celebrates the historical achievements of African American men and women here in Prince George's County. That's what they focused on.
Yes.
Prince George's County.
Well, I thought that was so very important because they gave examples in the history, gave examples of the war and the types of things that were going on during that time. During the war, they still at that time they had segregation, but still the blacks in service carried their duty with honor.
Yeah, well, there were several wars. The Spanish-American War. There was the Vietnam War, World War One, World War Two, the Korean War. So there were, several wars. That
were
are
involved
depicted in that poster
during that time. So I thought that. The idea of having a woman, that horn generally is for reveille or or either sometimes they use that as the sun be going down. You know what I mean?
We're steadily changing.
Right. So you've heard it here on the Ed Brown Show, and we'll be celebrating, Black History Month the whole month. We started off with Bowie State and the fantastic things they're doing, and we're going on this entire month on Black History. If you have anything you want to ask, just give us a call. You have the number. Okay, what we're going to do, we're going to get involved in the second half, and that we have Bill, William, is that Murry? See you in a second. Hi, welcome back to the Negro Month celebration on the Ed Brown Show. And I tell you, we're going to talk about the economics. Everybody, that affects everybody. We got a gentleman here, William Murry, here along with Edwina Larkin, and we're going to talk about this. And hey, whatever you're doing, just sit around and bring those youngsters up, and Murry is going to teach them a few things. Okay, William. Welcome to the Ed Brown.
I'm glad to be back on your show, Ed. This is always a thrill and an honor for me. When I'm on your show, because what people don't realize, you're talking about Black History Month, you are part of Black History Month, because you've been out there for a long time, Ed. I mean, what you've have done for us as a leader. Because, Ed, I've been knowing you for a long time. We were out there on the front line.
Yeah.
But you were out there a long time before me. And so you
we got to work together. That's the main thing.
There's no doubt.
And that somebody got to keep carrying the ball. That's what we're trying to do now. Make sure
just pass it
that pass it on.
Yeah.
And just like you do with finances, we got to learn that we have to pass some of the finances along so the next generation makes it easy.
Yes. Well, there's a saying out there, that you go, when you're on a path, you leave a trail. So someone can follow you. And where I leave off,
Yeah.
It's where you should begin.
Right.
So I'm leaving a path for you.
But you got to get them into the environment. You got to get them into thinking that way. You
Well,
know, not every day. Everything is not just for today. You got to
Right.
think about tomorrow. You got to think about the history as far as your children is concerned. Where the financial, how many out there think about you have children, you send them to school, and what are you doing? Are you teaching them that financial success is the key to the modern society that we have here?
Yeah, I think with Mr. Murry, because, you know, in life, you should have short-range goals as well as long-range
Right.
goals.
Well, you always, what we felt is, and that's what I love about our president. I mean, I tell everyone, look at this man. He is so futuristic in his thought.
Right.
He's doing things that's going to benefit the future.
Good. Right.
You know, what we do is we want to give our kids more than we had. So we give them a TV in their room, a phone in their room, games, and all this stuff. When they go to the room now, it's like a playground. Well, where we fail at is we want to give them more than we had. But what we failed to give them the most important thing.
Right.
And that's the education.
Right.
Tell them about your past, your history.
Right.
When you're sitting down paying bills, let them sit there and pay them with you. Show them what it's taking to survive.
Right.
You know, when we were growing up, Ed, I was always around the men, the older men, because that taught me how to be a man. Even
Right.
as a little boy, I learned what it was to be a man. So when they talk about the importance of a man, it doesn't have to be your father. My father died when I was 10 years old. But my community, the men took up
Right.
when my father passed. And that's why when I travel, Ed, all over the country today, and I speak to these youth, and I speak to these organizations, these universities, these companies, I tell them the importance of having someone to come in that can teach them how to be futuristic, about their business plan,
Right.
or about their life plan, about their vision plan. What is it, or what did you do yesterday that you got to work on today that's going to improve your tomorrow?
Yes.
So you got to think futuristic.
Sure.
I mean, there's no doubt. And the biggest problem, Ed, I'm finding that we're having is they just don't know. We aren't teaching them. We're the ones that dropping the ball from not teaching them. They're so hungry, and the information, I'm looking at them, they come to me with questions, and that a lot of times their parents should have been already explained to them. But they don't. But the parents really don't. They'll sit down and say, this is my favorite show, sit down and watch TV. Or don't bother me because it's my favorite show. That's the time when the child asks a question, that's the time you take, don't care what you're doing, and give them the answer. Teach them what it was when you grew up. Like when I grew up, Ed, and we were self-sufficient. You know, we grew our own food. My mother made her own jams and stuff. And then if you were hungry and you were a neighbor, if we ate, you ate too. They don't do that today. No one knows their neighbor. You know, and like the kids in my community, I take the kids in my community and have a session with them once a month. All you got to do is just show up.
Yeah, right.
I teach you how to start a business, how to build a business, how to think futuristics, because you aren't always going to be on the mama's and daddy's wing.
Right. And then, too, you got to get them thinking, when you say future, you got to get them thinking of the future. Say, 9 to 5, that was good for last generation.
Yes.
It's like, right? But see, now, this is a different time. And they have to know that they have to get into the economics of this country. And the only way you get into the economics of this country, you have to build business. This whole country was based on businessmen.
You know, Ed, today, most people don't realize that the majority of the people who give jobs are the small businesses.
Yes. Yes, that's true.
You know, we taught each other. You know, we had a job. I taught you teach your son, and then when you grow up, your son teach his son. Even in time, people don't. Even when you're working for someone, you're still self-employed because that little cubicle is yours. That's yours. You know, people don't realize, Ed, your life is a business. People who are most successful are those who have their life organized in a business sense.
That's
They put
right.
everything in writing because it's got to be in writing. You got a 95% better chance of succeeding if it's in writing. Your business plan got to
Right.
be in writing. Your futuristic plans got to be in writing. Your vision plan has to be in writing. That's success. That's your book. See, your life is a book. All you have to do is make it a bestseller.
Right.
You got people out there now writing books on themselves. Well, all they're doing is going back and reading what they wrote in the past and making it a book.
Right. Now, what level do you think it's good to introduce a financial responsibility to youngsters? Most of the time, like you say, they see things in the store, just like now, as far as the commodities, the different computers and things, the gadgets, they're coming out, but there's still a void there, you know, because what they're doing, they're supporting someone else.
And I'm looking at the age, and maybe I'm going back to, but I'm saying 5 or 6.
You said age 5?
Yeah, because that's when they start asking you, I want this and I want that.
Yes.
Show them value. See, I don't believe in allowances. I don't believe in giving a child an allowance. I think if anything, you give them a job.
Right.
Saying, okay, I'll pay you so much to make up your bed, keep your room clean, take out the trash, you know, do this or do that. And so when they want to buy, no, you got a job. You want this pair of sneakers, you pay for it. But where we fail too at another thing is we should teach them that at least 5 or 10% of every dollar you make goes in the bank, goes somewhere where
now. Yes.
That's thinking futuristic.
Savings.
Savings.
Right.
Because you always broke. Well, I want a pair of jeans. They don't know that $200 is a lot of money because they never had to put value on money. Because mom
as long
and dad
as they're giving it to you.
is giving it to them. Well, once you give them a job and they say, well, I got a pair of sneakers or jeans I want, you got a job. You pay for it. I guarantee you when I see those jeans and that stuff land on the floor then, because now that's their money.
Right.
So if we would stop giving them and start teach them how to earn it.
Yeah. Now, just tell us something about these different programs that you're going around, you know, exposing youngsters to.
Well, and you know, the name of my series, of course, you know, is The Road to Success. But my underline is the thought and action process to success. Because everything, you know, everything that exists out there goes first through thought. Everything you look at and you touch is somebody's idea. You look at a car, look at the clothes you have on, look at your shoes, look at a chair. That was someone's idea.
Yes.
So that was their thought. The action process is the fact that they put it together, how they did it, what they did. So you got to teach them how to think. And I teach the positive side of thinking. Instead of going out there and say, well, I'm having a bad day, you know, this happened to me, that happened to me. Don't say that was a bad incident. Look at the reason that God said, this is how I want you to learn this lesson. Because, you know, you learn from your mistakes.
Oh, yes.
The successes don't pay you or don't give you a whole lot. It's your mistakes that you remember.
Right.
So that's your lesson. That's how life teaches you. So when I teach the thought and action process, I'm teaching them positive thinking. You know, don't think that, you know, like this gentleman came because he had messed up his car. I said, man, but why are you angry? I mean, you're telling me that you messed up your car. The blessing is you're alive to tell me about it, because what if you hadn't survived it?
Right.
So you don't look at it, because that's a material item. Money. People worship money. It's a material item. In order to be successful, see, this is thought. When I'm teaching you thought, you don't work for the money. You work for the success of it. Now, Ed, I'm also a realtor, and I'm one of the top realtors in the DMV, the D.C., Maryland, Virginia area.
Right.
And the reason is, Ed, I put no value on money. I mean, money's valuable, yes, but it doesn't mean that's what I'm working for. If you come to me and say, Mr. Murry, I want a house, 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, with the garage, a basement, and I don't want over $250,000. Well, if I sit down and go on a calculator and I start counting, oh God, this is how much money I make. Well, I just put the devil into the equation. But now, if I want to do it and live it through a positive life, through a spiritual meaning, I don't look at the money. If I find you a house that you're looking for, that you want to move in, and I find you that house, when we go to settlement and I hand you the keys to your house, I'm successful at giving you the American dream of home ownership. The payday is automatic.
Right.
So I'm working toward the success, not the money, because I'm successful giving you what you want. the payday is automatic. Even on the job when you work for someone,
Right.
it goes the same way.
You know, some of the emphasis they've made, I think some of the people have seen it, comparing the economic value of each county. And I think they named the counties and the counties around this particular area. And the economic, the problem is that, especially in the real estate market here in Prince George County, the people that lost homes was because they had not developed a value of money. Say, if you making X number of dollars, you have to budget your money. That's what a lot of people, just because John Jones has a item or something like that you want, if you can't afford it, you just don't get it. See,
You don't keep up with the Joneses.
yeah, but that's a thing that is tough for young people, especially.
I got to get them sneakers because
right.
that's the latest thing.
Right,
because the latest thing.
I think as far as that's concerned, those the athletic items and the and the electronic items are the highest selling items going. You see, okay, and then you look at so many other things, the different industries that are not really that Black Americans could actually do well in, and that's athletics and entertainment.
Entertainment, yes.
They do well in that because that points to their ability. Both of those.
And also it's natural.
Yeah, right.
A natural ability.
Natural ability. What do you think about the women? Do you think that they feel that the women are left out in this when they start talking about finance? Usually they try to make it a male thing, but I don't agree with that.
No, I think that the women are on top. We're the ones who get the money and budget the money. We're the budget. I think we're the budget people of the family. But as Mr. Murry was talking, I thought about the scripture in Habakkuk 2, write the vision and make it plain. You said that you teach your students how to write their business plan. You know, you write it down. You know, the scriptures tells us to do that. So I think that's an excellent point. With anything, you have to see it. You write it down and make it plain.
You know, Ed asked a question, and I'm going to show you how correct both of you are on that. Today, you look at your commercials, from your car commercials, to your home commercials, to your appliance commercials, to anything. It's catered to mostly to women now, because they're the ones that's handling the purse strings. When have you known that they do a commercial to a woman for a car? Or for buying a house? Or even for starting a business? It's catered to the women because they're the ones that's handling the money.
So you think that maybe we should have a woman president next, huh?
You know what, Ed? And there's a great possibility that it's going to happen.
It's coming.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's not a matter, is it? It's just a matter of when.
Time.
Yeah, it's
right.
coming.
A matter of time.
A matter of time.
But as far as African Americans are concerned and their economic position, I think this is something that everyone, not just the minorities, because everyone benefits from a good economy. For instance, like they separate the different races, the Spanish, the African Americans, Europeans. Right now you're going through a deal there with the Pope where they don't know what they're going to do as far as picking, you know. And the first thing they talked about was money, the control that they have. And you find that the churches have a terrific effect on the economy. What do you think about that?
Yes.
We need to.
Okay. Well, tell.
What I would like to announce, Ed, this is going to be at the Fine and Performing Arts Center at Bowie State University. There's going to be a free screening of Brown Babies, which is the Miss Chingling's Kinder story. It's about these babies who were born during the wartime, who who were unwanted.
From Europe.
Yes,
Yeah.
they were ignored and forgotten. So it's going to be at Bowie State, the screening, February 21st, 2013 at 7 p.m.
Okay.
And if you want to go, if you want to attend, you need to contact Bowie State University, the Fine Arts Department. Brown Babies
Okay.
is their story.
Okay, with that, we're going to wrap this up, and I think you have a presentation to make to all the volunteers at Ed Brown Show.
Yes.
Since this is Valentine's Day.
Yes, I would like to present this to the volunteers here at the Ed Brown TV show who have worked tirelessly.
Free.
And tirelessly. And diligently. And they've been committed to working with you, and that's a token.
Thank you. And this is what it's all about. You know, you have to give back. Don't forget that. Everybody. See you next time.